Hi, I'm Diana from Enjoy Watercolour Painting. Today we're looking at creating depth in your painting, and the key that you see isn't a real key, it's become three-dimensional because of shadows. Shadows can give a painting much more depth, as you see with the barrier, the fence along the wall here. It adds drama too. And this is one of the other qualities we want to create in our watercolour painting. And that's what this video is all about. You can see the fence post create the shadow on the wall, and this helps greatly to give that three-dimensional quality. And also drama, as you see in this painting of my own sitting room here in the old house, where the shadows and the light from the window create that three-dimensional look, that dramatic look, which helps to give depth and feeling to your painting. So this is what we're going to do today. Look at how we can create that in our watercolour painting. So let's paint. So now let's put this three-dimensional effect into a watercolour sketch that I did for a past video, actually, a walk through a bluebell wood. But this was just a sketch with not much emphasis on the depth and the contrast in the painting. And so you see I'm adding dark shading to the right hand side of the nearest tree using a Payne's Grey Burnt Sienna mix, which is just off camera. I'm only adding the colour on one side and then washing the left hand side with clear water so that we get that rounded effect. But I'm also applying darker shading colour to the branches, the underside of the branches, because when we're painting shadows to create depth, we have to think about where the light is coming from. And for this picture, the picture is essentially lit from the top left. And so the shadows cast are on the left-hand tree on the right-hand side and on the right-hand tree on the left. It's always good to think about that. There has to be a consistency, putting the shadows in the right place, and also really try to have an intensity of colour. When you mix your colour on your palette, make sure it's not too watered, not too diluted, because we're going to add water to the light side of the painting, of the object, to create that roundness, and that will dilute the colour a little. Now I'm thinking about the shadow on the ground. Of course, the ground, this pathway through the wood, undulates, there are grasses, there are bluebells. And the shadow colour has to, first of all, contain the colour of the object creating the shadow, which in this case is the tree, and also the area on which the shadow is cast, which is the woodland floor with grasses and bluebells. And so I've added a mix of blues and greens, as well as my shadow colour of Payne's Grey and Burnt Sienna, and added also water to dilute the lower edge of the shadow to give it a more diluted and a gentler look. The second tree in has a lighter shadow, but the same principles apply. The shading is on the right hand side, and because I've used plenty of colour, I can use the liner brush to give little spikes of colour where the grasses are silhouetted against the light. adding more blue as I go to give that feeling of the bluebells, although not really painting bluebells in any detail at all. Now the right-hand tree, which has its shadow on the left, because as I've said, the painting is top lit from the left-hand corner, and so the shading is on the opposite side. And you can see I'm adding more detail at the base of the tree using the little liner brush. And whilst the paper is wet, I can add some little blue dots just to give the feeling of the bluebells in the shadows. The foreground now is much stronger than the background and the midground, and this helps to give depth to the painting and takes your eye through, as you will see from the painting now I've finished. Now let's see how we can give depth and a three-dimensional quality to simple people on a plain piece of watercolour paper, just using Payne's Grey and Burnt Sienna for our people, a simple carrot shape with a head is all we need, but the shadow then gives them depth and brings them alive. The two standing there looking at whatever they're looking at, and we make them bigger, they come closer, and we can also make them move using shadows. You see the figure here, a lady, I think. She's turned into a lady who's walking, and she's heading in the direction. She's walking through the painting because the shadow is longer and diagonal, which gives us that quality of movement. And suddenly we're not looking at a blank piece of watercolour paper. We're looking at a sunny place where people are all heading in the same direction, some walking and some just looking at the view. Just a simple thing to do, but great fun. Well, there you have it. Different images made three-dimensional by the addition of strong shadows. Like the interior here, which is one of my favourite paintings, a view of a window in my sitting room with the light flooding through. And if you look closely, you can see the ghosts too. Or the walk in the bluebell wood through the trees with the shady area, the strong foreground, which gives you that depth, taking you through to the trees further along behind. Or the people, very simple, stationary or moving. They are there and three-dimensional just because of the shadows that are created. And finally, painting in acrylics this time. Lift it up so that you can see the wooden tray with its paper and paintbrush, a trompe-l'oeil or fooling the eye with shading which makes you think that it's three-dimensional. All these things are created and I think improved by the strength of the shadows. If you've enjoyed this video and you haven't done so already, please don't forget to like and subscribe and leave any comments you may have. Ring the bell so you're informed of the next video coming along, and leave any suggestions of subjects that you would like me to paint. Till the next time, enjoy your painting. Bye.